Hey everybody, it's Big Daddy J coming at you doing a little tutorial on OBS Studios on how to set it up for gameplay recording and also streaming. Now I'll go ahead and let you know, I usually don't do tutorials. I usually just video record my gameplay and post it on YouTube. So this is actually my very first tutorial. So let me know how I do, okay? I'm still getting used to this weird screen. I mean, this is just crazy. It up and down. Okay. Enough playing around. All right, let's get into it, okay? Okay, everybody, before we actually do get started, I just want to remind you to go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. And if you're new to the channel and would like, go ahead and subscribe. And that way you can check out some of the gameplay videos I do put up online on YouTube. And I am adding more and more games day by day. I'd like to know what people would like to see. And I also will put some more tutorials if people would like them. Yeah, so enough about that. Let's go ahead and get started. So down on the descriptions, there's a link where it says recording software. Go ahead and click it, and you'll go to download OBS Studios. Once you do that, you'll hit save, run, install, and so forth. All right, so once you get that done, we'll go back into OBS Studio and see the crazy screen. Okay, sorry, this thing is distracting me. So we'll go into, first thing we're going to do is we're going to settings, and it's not going to come dark like this. So this is the default one. That just hurt my eyes. Wow. Okay, to me this is hard to read, and I just, you know, as you can look down here, it's hard to read that. Now they also did just put another screen type right here, and get ready, this is going to probably hurt your eyes even worse. Boom. Well, it hurts my eyes. So just the weird teal colors. I mean, you can read a little bit better than the white. But personally, I think it's easier just to use the dark. So now, once you get to that, you just go ahead and click apply and OK. So since I changed it, I'm going to go ahead and hit apply. But you don't change anything else through this. So now that we have done that, we are going to go right down here to audio. Click on your audio. Now, it will come, the default one is 44. Alright, so what you need to do is find out what your playback device is and what your recording device is, and you want them to match. And there's an easy way to do that. If you don't know how to do it, all you have to do is go down here to your little speaker, you're going to right click it, go to recording devices, this will pop up, you'll scroll down to your default, and mine is my mic. Now you may not use a mic, or you might use your headset, it doesn't really matter. What I actually have is a Blue Yeti mic, and that's what I'm using. So then you're actually going to click on it, and then go right click and go to properties, go up here to advance, and you can see right here it'll say 2 channel 16-bit 48,000 Hertz. Okay, so now we know what that is. So we'll click OK and go up here to playback. Playback is what you listen to, rather it be through your monitor speakers or through surround sound speakers, you know, or your headset. I use my headset. So I scroll down to it, click, right click, set properties, go to advance, and I set it to be the exact same, 2 channel 16-bit 48 Hertz. Now if you can do both of them 48 Hertz, that's the best thing to do. But you want them to match. So if you can't do 48 on both of them, then go to 44. So now we've got that done. That's down to 48. You're going to go right down here to your next step, which is desktop audio device. Now this is what OBS is going to record off of. Now as you can see, what I did was you pick the same thing that you listen back to all the time, and it'll pick up, like, let's say you're doing gameplay or something like that. You're going to have a headset on so you can actually hear your game. So you're going to want to click headset. Whichever it might be that you're going to do, so click your headset. The second one, you're going to leave disabled, no need to have it on. Third one is how you're going to speak into it, rather be through your headset or through a mic, or through the Elgato It's weird how that works, but yeah, so mine's still the mic. And then also disabled. Now, if you're using a webcam, yeah, you will have to do some of these changes. So once we get there, you're going to go to output and come over to audio. This is where you're going to set your tracks up. All right, so the tracks, you can actually click on and scroll down, and it goes up like 320, I do believe. I can't actually show you because I'm using this to record right now. But you can either scroll down to 320 and click on both of them, make sure they're the same. But I will tell you that YouTube brings it down to 160. So go ahead and do it at 160. I mean, it seems to work really good. From a lot of people I've talked to, they said the same thing that uses OBS. So yeah. Now, remember, we're track 1, track 2, and you'll see where it says desktop audio, microphone audio. We'll get to that here in a second. So then what you do is actually hit OK on that. Okay. Then you're going to come down here and you can see where the mic's bouncing and all that. So you'll come over here to the little setting bar, click it, click advanced properties, and this is going to pop up. Now you're going to want to check mark where it says down mix to mono. Now if you don't do that, that means only one speaker is going to throw your voice out. Nobody wants that. So you want to click it so it goes out of both speakers or however many speakers they got. And then you're going to come over and you're going to set these. Now remember this. Now all these tracks will be checkmarked, uncheckmarked, every single one of them. Okay? You're going to want to check your desktop as one and the mic as a second one. Then if you do have a webcam or something, you'll go through so forth. Now you can, if you check mark them both at the same, you know, that means it's going to record on the same track, which in editing system, that makes it a lot harder to do. This way you can actually individually adjust the sounds that your desktop's making or your voice is making or so forth. So now that you have got that done, you're going to close out of it. I'm right back down here to settings. Click on it. And now we're going to go to the video right here. Now I can't do much of this changing here because of, yeah, it's like I said, I'm already recording. So the very top one is your base canvas. Now whatever your monitor is, that's what you should set it at. If you got 4K or HD, you should change it to that. Now I will go ahead and tell you, I have a 4K monitor, but not many people have 4K capability yet on their phones and on their computers, so I don't really record in 4K. Now the reason I still don't change this is because then if I do change this number, my CPU is going to work harder, because on this output setting you're going to want to scale the resolution to 1080. Now if you're at 4K here and you go to 1080 here, it's going to have to downsize it, or rescale it, I'm sorry, and that's just more strain on it. So might as well just keep it running smooth and have, you know, both of them set the same. Now if for some reason you want to go ahead and you got a really good computer and you can do that, that's good. You'll want to click on here, this button right here, and then scroll down to the very bottom one, the 32 samples. Now that's the best, the very best as far as rescaling it. The second one will be mediocre, then the top one is the worst. Now all depends on what your computer is capable of doing. I really do got a decent computer on here. It's pretty strong, but I still, you know, I try not to strain it too much. Then the final on this screen is you're going to go to the common FPS values, and that's FPS, everybody knows, stands for frames per second. Now you have two choices, 30 or 60. Now depending on, once again, on your processor, how good your computer is, and what kind of games you play, if that's what you're going to record. If you're doing high action games with a lot of change of scenery or gunfire or whatever it may be, you know, and your computer is not that great, you're going to want to stay at 30. But by all means, try at 60 first and do a short little, you know, 2-minute video and then go back and watch it. Now if you see your video all glitchy and, you know, just not looking right, come back here, change this first. And if that doesn't work, you'll want to come back here and change this down to 720, and then you might have to start messing with this settings right here. Okay, so once you get all that set up, we'll click apply. And then we're going to go back to output. Now, once you go to output, you're going to go to recorder. Now, then you'll want to hit advance up here. Actually, you want to hit advance before at the audio, I'm sorry. But go ahead and go to recorder and type in, it's going to be standard. Now this is the recording path. This is where OBS is going to store your video that you are doing on your computer. Now I made mine saying YouTube video 1 and I got YouTube video 2. YouTube video 1 is just the raw footage of what I'm recording before it's edited. And then my video editor will turn it to video 2. And then you want to go the recording format. Now most standard and the best one to do is honestly MP4. Now you can fool around with all the other ones after you hit the drop down scale and see where it goes. Standard for YouTube is MP4, and you want to have check mark in 1 and 2. Now we're going to go to the encoder, and that's what how it writes the code. X264 is the very best on here that it can do. And what that is using your processor to encode everything. It can be a little strenuous on your computer if you don't have a very good one, but you can try. And like I said, it's the best way to do it. It gives you the best quality and best picture. So if you can't do it, the second one will run off your video card plus your processor, and that will encode it. The very top one, which is the worst one, will just go straight off your video card. Whichever it may be. It might be AMD, it might be Nevada, whichever. Like I said, I use X264. I haven't had any trouble. And then this, don't do nothing here. It's going to say 19, or if it doesn't, go ahead and put it to 1920, 1080. Don't click this, because if you're going to have to downscale it, you'll do it in the first one where I showed you where put your base canvas and your output. That will downstream it enough. So just don't even click that. It'll make it strain even worse. Then what you're going to do is scroll down and go to rate control. Now there's two ones that you really only have to worry about, and that's CBR and PBR. Alright, so the CBR is controlled bit rate and the PBR is variable bit rate. Most people will use the CBR like I do, and that's because it's the constant bit rate of recording at the same. So I would go ahead and use that. The variable bit rate will actually just like it says, it varies, and it can sometimes mess with the quality of your video. And everybody knows you're trying to make the best video you can possibly make. So, and then you'll come right down here. Now, as you can see, I got 12,000 in there. You can change this if you want. This setting works really good. This is what a lot of YouTubers use right here as well. You can go up to 18,000. Some of these videos will even tell you do 50,000. But I'm here to tell you, if you actually do this yourself, do a little experiment, record a little bit in 12, and record a little bit in 18, record a little bit in 50. Okay, now you might notice a little bit difference between the 12 and 18. Okay, yeah, I'll give you that. As far as the quality of the picture, but the 18 to 50, you're not going to notice. What you are going to notice is the size of the file. Bigger the number, a lot bigger the file. This still gives you a pretty decent sized file, but it's not near as bad. Now once you set that to 12,000, you're going to check mark right here, use custom buffer size. Now you want both numbers to match each other. That way everything stays the same, the buffer size, the bit rate, and then scroll right down here to keyframe interval. Now yours will say 0 at first. Now what this does is OBS goes to a keyframe to check it various times, which if you have it at 0, might as well have that at VBR. But so since we don't use VBR, we're using a CBR. You're going to put how many seconds you want it to check. I have it doing it every second. You can do it every 2 to 3. It's just something you're going to have to do and mess with, and have your personal preference on it. Then you're going to scroll down to CPU usage preset. Alright, so you got very fast. Here, I'll just scroll down. Very fast, all medium. So, okay, now all this from here down is good. you'll want to actually, like I said, it depends. If you got a monster computer, by all means, make it better. More power to you. Like I said, I do got a really good computer, but I don't like to strain it out too much, so I leave it up very fast. And then you'll come down here to profile. You'll have baseline, main, and high. I use main. It's actually the best settings for my computer as well. Now you can actually tool around with it, mess with it, do whatever you want, you know, see what works best for you. This video has been recorded the way these settings are, and you can use your own judgment to see if you like it. As far as the quality of it, of the picture, I'm not saying I have the best quality. Like I said, I don't do very many tutorials, so yeah. But then tune, leave blank. This you leave blank. All right, so that's basically the setup of doing the recording part of it. So before we get into the actual stream part, I will go ahead and show you something. Now, when I first did this, I recorded probably 45 minutes of gameplay, and when I clicked on the file it saved it to, man, I freaked out because I could not hear nothing besides the game itself. My whole voice, I was like, no way, I don't want to do a voiceover. No, that just doesn't look right. So, which I'm going to show you. I did a little example demo thing, if you would. So let's bring that up real quick. Go to file, and this is it recording right now what we're doing here. So I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to be quiet. Well, as you can tell, you really didn't hear much, did you? Alright, so, but that's okay, because I'm here. I want to show you it actually records it right. So I'm going to close that down. I'm going to go into my editor, which I use Vegas Pro 15, and alright guys, so I have brought up here my Vegas Pro. Yep, see right here, Vegas Pro 15. Now I'm going to bring in the file, the demo. That's the same one you just watched that couldn't hardly hear nothing, if anything. I'm going to open it and start from the beginning, and now I'm going to be completely silent. Alright, so this is a test to show you that sometimes the audio and the gameplay does not always record to your saved file. But don't worry, you will soon see that when you go to your editor, it is there. But right now you should be hearing a lot of fire noise, and the doors opening, and then him barely. See, get him. There, him yelling. Alright. And for you folks who want to know, this is a game called Ark Survival Evolved. It's just one of the games I play. Alright, so let's get back to the actual OBS recording. Okay, as you can see, it actually did record everything it was supposed to. So, yes. Go ahead and close out of that. Of course, I'm not going to save this because I'm not going to post it nowhere. I was just using it purely for a demo. So I guess, yeah, I am going to post it. Alright, so that is basically all you need to do to get it set up. Now, what we need to do here is come down and add your first scene. So you'll actually click the little plus button, and you'll name the scene. I name mine recording. You can name whatever you want to name it, and however many scenes you want to name it. I'm just going to use one scene though. Alright, so now that you got that scene, you're going to come right down here and hit the plus button to get the source. Now there's different sources on here. Now if you're doing game mode, of course you're going to go to game capture. So we're going to click on game capture, and I'm going to add my Dead by Daylight game. So let me go ahead and name that Dead by Daylight. And I'm going to hit OK. Now you can see it's got a blank screen right here. Now there's 3 different ways of capturing your game on this thing. You'll click down here, you got game capture any full screen application. Now what that requires is you to go into your game settings and actually switch the screen to full screen. So anytime that it comes up the game to full screen, it will automatically turn this on if you have OBS running. Okay. It doesn't work with every game though, I can tell you that. Then the next one you have is capture specific windows. I'll get back to that here in a second. We're going to scroll down here to capture foreground windows with hotkey. Now, a lot of people like the hotkey. I personally don't, but what it is, you go ahead and click that, and then I'll show you how to activate the hotkeys, and whether you use Control R, F12, it doesn't matter. That will turn the screen on, but then you have to come back in OBS and actually hit the record button. So, the one I actually use is capture specific window. I already got to come back here and hit record, but so capture that, and you'll scroll down the window and you're going to find whatever it is that you're going to be playing. You know, there's a lot of different things going right now, so we're going to capture Dead by Daylight. So I'm going to click it and hit OK, and see, my game's running in the background right now. Oh man, I'm so sorry. Okay, so as you can see, this is not the full little guy going on here, so we are going to show you how to shrink it. So just grab this corner on the left hand side, shrink it down. Well, I might not be able to do this. This is gonna mess with me a little. Alright, well anyway, so you're gonna grab this, shrink it down, grab a hold of the middle, bring it up until you feel it. Yeah, I can see it now. I can see what I'm doing. Take that left hand corner and stick it right up there, and you'll see it snap. Now once that does that, it's still not going to capture everything right. As you can see, it's capturing everything in my little window screen. We come down to the bottom right corner. You're going to press shift and hold it. Grab a hold of that corner, and you're going to drag it until it snaps in place. And then boom, you have this full screen and nothing cut off of your game or your video or whatever you're recording. Alright, so that's how you do that. Now, to turn this off, to get back to the other ones, all you do is see the little eyeball. Just click the eyeball and boom. See, it just shot off way down there. And like other things, like the Elgato. Okay, so if I want to turn the Elgato on, I click the eyeball, and oh yeah, I gotta take off this display mode. Alright, and boom. There it is. There is, well, I got Call of Duty running on the PlayStation. Boom. Turn off the Elgato. Dead by Daylight's back on, and now it's gone. Alright, so after you get all that done, you're good to go. You'll just open it, have this run in the background, open your game up, go back to OBS, and then hit record. Now for the streamers. So how you set that up is you actually go back in the settings. You're going to go to stream. Now you're going to have to put what source or service you're using: YouTube, Smashcast, Mixer.com, Facebook, Twitter, you know, Live Ed. Yeah, I've never even heard that one, but I use Twitch. So you're going to need the stream key. Now, if you don't know how to get your stream key, it is really simple. You are going to open up your Twitch account, click on your little icon, come down here to dashboard, wait for the dashboard to load up, and then you're going to come down here to settings. Once you click settings, you'll see where it says stream key. Go ahead and click that stream key. You're going to hit click show key. Now, this is a warning message. Never share your stream key with anyone or show it on stream. Now, reason they say that is because, let's say I posted mine. You could actually pause it, the game, or not the game, but the video, and actually write mine down, and you can go into OBS and start streaming your own videos, your own content into my stream, which they don't like you doing that. So I'm not going to go any further than this. But if you accidentally do leak it out, that's no big deal. You can sit there and just hit reset, which I'm just not going to do that because, yeah. So what you'll do is you actually click I understand. and then it's going to pop it up. You're going to copy it, and once you copy it, you're going to go back in the OBS, and you're going to paste it right here. So now you've got that. Now you can click show if you wrote it down. Basically, I would just copy and paste it. That's a lot better way to do it. Now, there's a lot of conflict as far as comes to servers. Because when you go to actually stream it, you're going to see all these servers all over the country. A lot of people tell you pick the closest one to you. There's actually a tool that you can find out which of these closer ones to wherever, if you're in South America, if you're in Europe, you know, here in the US, it doesn't matter. You know, there's a tool that'll tell you which signal to bounce it off of for the best stream possible for you. A lot of people just leave it on auto recommended. I don't stream a whole lot yet, so that's where I just leave mine, and then when I do start streaming, it will actually bounce off the one that's having the better server at the time. Alright, so now you got that set up. You're going to go back in the output again, and here's your streaming tab. Alright, so you got the audio track all here. Now, oh, I can't change it there. Right. Because I'm recording now. Okay, so you can click through these, but it's only going to click one. And once again, you're going to go to the encoder. You're going to click it and scroll down. Once again, I would use a X264 if your computer can run it. Then you're going to go ahead and keep this checkmarked if it's not checkmarked, and for streaming service encoder settings, so it will automatically, your computer will help deal with that. Your rescale, if you want to rescale, like I said, don't recommend it, but you also got to take an effect of, well, with Twitch, unless you're a partnership, you are limited to how you can stream it some, to like if, let's say, you're streaming it and somebody doesn't have a good computer or really good internet, you got to take all that into consideration for this next part and for that there too. So you can change the bit rate again from variable to constant. You can change the bit rate right here. 2500 is generally a very good one to stream good quality video to people that don't have the best, the best internet, but still want to watch you, because otherwise it's just going to sit there and just buffer. And what's going to happen when they buffer? They're going to leave your stream. You don't want that. Now, once you actually become a partnership with Twitch, it will give you the option where you can change this bit rate pretty dang high, and it will downsize it on their end for whoever you are sitting there, whoever's watching you. And then you also want to still click the custom buffer size. Same here, I put everything the same as the actual recording, as you can see. So yeah, once you get that done, then all you got to do is, it does help. One of the reasons I don't actually stream that much is I was told it helps you have dual monitors. I don't have dual monitors, and that's fine. That way you can watch Twitch and play your game at the same time while OBS is streaming it to there. So, oh, now, if you have the question, if you do have dual monitors, triple monitors, quadruple monitors, whatever, you know, the setup, the awesome setup you might have, you go back to video, and right here where you have the base canvas, if you got more than one hooked up to your tower, you'll see every one of those monitors. So you got to make sure every one of those monitors is set right. It will automatically pick up what type of monitor. So if you got a 4K monitor on one, but you only got 1080 on the other one, or you know, it'll show you that. But you still set the same to whatever, you know. If you got one 4K and one 1080, let's go ahead and definitely put. Okay, before I forget, I told you I would show you how to do the hotkeys. So actually go back in here to hotkeys, and you're going to see all this pop up. Now don't freak out. A lot of this is because I already have the games put on there, and I got mine all separate on them because of the way I actually use the recorder. But you can see where it says start recording, stop recording. Now you can put in whatever hotkey you want to use, Control R, Control S, F12, whatever. Some of the games I play requires, you know, those F12s and all that. And like I said, just because it says start recording doesn't mean it starts recording. All it means is it activates OBS screen. and then you have to come in here and actually click the button right here that says start recording. All right, guys and gals, I hope this video did help you, and if you have any questions, go ahead and comment down there and I will do my best to answer them for you. Yeah, and if you want a tutorial on how to do the Sony Vegas, I can be more than happy to put one out there for you. Like I said, I usually don't do a lot of tutorials, but I'm happy to help everybody and just share what little knowledge I have with whoever wants to listen, and share my gameplay too. So that being said, y'all have a good evening, good morning, wherever it is in the world you're at, and I hope you're safe and happy holidays.